So, Dave, let's take the last 5 or 10 minutes here and talk a little bit of European football.
Okay.
So, some big games that happened over the weekend and in midweek, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you watch the Bournemouth Leeds game?
No, I did not watch Bournemouth versus Leeds, but
Yeah.
Leeds, it's funny. As bad as Leeds has been, they're still comfortably above the relegation zone for now.
Are they? I don't know.
They're like 1 or 2 points above it, right?
When
I say comfortably, I don't mean like they're out in front of it, but like they're not in the relegation zone.
They are not.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe I used the wrong
and
term.
I didn't see what happened with Everton and Leicester.
It was
who
a
were below
tie.
Yeah,
today.
they drew.
Oh boy!
So
that was probably the best thing for Leeds, but it probably they're no longer Leeds are no longer in the comfortable spot because they couldn't beat Bournemouth.
Right.
They couldn't beat the Red Cherries, and they did not look like they were the stronger side throughout.
Well, if you look at their form guide, they've lost 4 and tied 1 in the last 5.
And Tyler Adams being not in the starting line.
Without Tyler Adams, they are not the same.
They're
team
just not
at
the
all.
yeah. They're awful. So I think that's the X factor.
Coach is terrible.
I didn't see Brendan Aronson in the game. I don't know if he's injured.
He's not injured, but he hasn't been playing much.
McKennie was in, but then got taken off in like the 66 minutes.
McKennie, I think, people are expecting him to be like Tyler Adams' replacement. He's not.
Yeah,
that's not that player. So
yeah. So
disaster.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to finish in the bottom? Anything changed in your opinion from the last podcast?
Simon had it as, Southampton, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. I think he didn't have anybody getting out of that.
Yeah, I think Everton, when's the last time they went down? It's like something like we talked about in the last, it's been.
Have they ever? They certainly haven't been down in the Premier League.
I don't think in the Premier League era. So that's since 1990, what, 2-ish? When did the Premier League start?
Like that, yeah.
1992, the Premier League started, I believe.
I can't believe that Everton's not.
Everton's never been relegated to the championship.
I don't know. I think Everton somehow pulls it off again.
It's certainly possible.
But if they pull it off, it's probably at Leeds' expense, right?
I think it's Leeds, Forest, Southampton.
All right.
That's mine.
Yeah. Okay.
I almost kind of agree with Carmen.
I
think Everton, too big of a club, finds a way somehow.
I think it's going to be Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton, just to be different.
But Leicester's done better since they got rid of Rodgers.
They have, but really, it's a matter of
they're moving away.
Everton breaking the mold. I think it's a bad bet for me as normal. That's just how I roll. But Everton, right? Like the stats are there. Like that is a good reason.
Well, Southampton's done. They're getting relegated for sure.
Yeah,
they are. They're basically.
Nottingham Forest is in decent form though. Like they look.
They're basically better. 4 teams for 2 spots: Leicester, Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and Everton. I don't really think that West Ham.
Nottingham Forest, I believe,
look good.
They brought in the PSG keeper that's Costa Rican international.
Yeah, Bravo.
No, Neves.
Neves, sorry.
Yeah, Neves. Yeah,
Neves.
Which I was like, I know that guy. And Navas. So I don't know. Nottingham Forest might make their way out of that.
Just because of the goalkeeper.
Well, I mean, they have been playing
I think so.
Goalkeeper makes a big difference,
especially in relegation times.
I mean, talk to. I mean, if you take.
And my Wolves got hammered 6-0.
Oh God, they were terrible.
I couldn't even bring myself to watch the game. I was like, oh boy, that was.
If you take the Jamaican goalkeeper off of Philadelphia Union, they are not even close to the same team that they are. I mean, he's just unbelievable. What else you want to talk about?
I think we've talked about it all.
Well, I was going to say, my beloved Man United basically sealed the deal.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely going to be top 4. I don't see Liverpool. People are like, people are trying to make the drama out of it. Right. So Man United has a game in hand, right? And they're up 7, right? So that means that all they have to do is get 9 points, right, out of their last 6. So they can go 500 and there's still Liverpool can't catch it. If Liverpool wins every single game, right?
I feel like you just jinxed us. I feel like you put something out in the universe.
No, I don't think, not with Casemiro, no. And if, one thing about Man United, if you're a Premier League fan, you watch it, whatever. So Casemiro is playing the Sosa role, or defensive midfield. You don't see Casemiro sitting just in front of the back two. He's aggressive all the way up the field, reading the danger and getting in tight spots. And that's because they've had back two. Now, obviously, Martinez has gotten injured. But the honest to God difference between Man United last year and this year is Lisandro Martinez, who actually is aggressive winning balls at midfield where Maguire never was. Right. And Casemiro now defending in front of them and pushing up the field. We actually have turned people over up the field.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're a Man United fan, the other thing is that Manchester United has Anthony, who's, all left foot, just like Araujo. He'd been playing inverted the entire season. You know where he is in the last 2 games? Out on the left. Yeah. Ten Hag has seen enough.
He's seen enough of Sancho too on a regular basis.
Yeah, but Sancho has also been inverted too. And again, if you look at Anthony and Sancho, maybe Anthony to a little lesser degree, right? They're the kinds of guys who want to run out behind people. Certainly Sancho is, right? So they're less, Anthony's a little bit of an in-between player, right? But honestly, you want inverted wingers when you got guys who are skillful, want to play tiki-taki. If you got guys who can run by people, you don't want them inverted.
Yeah.
So Araujo should never, ever, ever be inverted. Whoever told him in whatever age he was that inverted was right, that coach should be, run off the pitch because it just has no. I think it's people watching Pep Guardiola and saying this is the new way to do it. That's the way he maximizes the players he has. That is not just a universal. Everybody should be doing it that way.
Yeah.